with the Owen Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the Owen Mystic. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer. You are traveling with the Owen Mystic. You are now tapped in with the Owen Mystic.
Let me see those hands in the air.
You are now tapped in
Everybody jump.
with the Owen Mystic.
Because even the times where it stung to get rejected, looking back, God had to make them reject me because I wouldn't have rejected it.
Yeah.
God had to. Sometimes he has to make them be like, nah.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of times God will literally hide your glory from people. He will hide it. Like they can't see it. And it's not them. And it's not you. It's God. Because that's not where you need to be. And that's not who you need to be with. So God will hide it from them. They can't see it.
Yeah.
They can't see how amazing you are.
Yeah.
Because God is like, nah, this is not it. And I don't even want them to see it because then it's over.
Oh, but then after the fact, when the
veil is lifted.
and they come to themselves.
Because you know they always going to spin the block. They going to spin that block.
If you take a black woman and stick her in a room with 10 black men, random pick. Just go pick a random. Go to the mall and pick 10 random black people. Stick them in a room. Ask every one of them, what do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? What do you do for a living? How many kids do you have? What do you do for a living? What is your education level? Da, 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 da. What are your accomplishments in life? I'm going to say 8 times out of 10, that woman has outdone every man in that room and still doing stuff. So when guys come and say crazy stuff to you, just think about that. Just think about that. Even me, if you take me and stick me in a room, even as a housewife, I still have more accomplishments, and I still probably earn way more as a housewife that don't even leave the house and just sits on YouTube and talks.
Hey, welcome. What's your name?
My name's Alberto Devine.
What is that?
Alberto Devine.
Alberto? What do you do?
For myself, I paint.
You're an artist?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Very cool.
Appreciate
And now, what do you look for in a woman?
Just loyalty, and more than anything. Outside of that, I pretty much can figure out everything else.
Okay. Yeah. And do you have like a type or anything like that?
The ones that ain't pop the balloons. You go
Next.
That part doesn't.
Okay, pop again.
My name is Linda, and I popped just by hearing you. You guys know you got a little attitude. Yeah, just a little feisty.
Yeah, I'm very confident. So
I don't want to deal with that.
That's cool.
But you're a good guy, though. You seem really nice, but it's just, you talk back too much.
Cool.
Okay, and now, is she your type?
Oh, she's beautiful. I love your eyes.
Thank you.
All right, then.
Our next contestant is Warren. Okay, so there's no more balloons, so go ahead and go.
You You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic.
Let me see those hands in the air.
You are now tapped in
Everybody jump.
with the Hood Mystic.
Let's get a round of applause if you hydrated. Another round of applause if you've been fasting. Another round of applause if you have been observing your emotional reactions. It's time to be present. It's time to tap in. It is the Hood Mystic, and I'm here with another daily energy reading. Can I get a thumbs up if you can hear me? Okay. I really mean it. Man, interesting thing. I didn't do just chilling, man. Just chilling. What's good, California? They not like us. They not like us. Yes, man. As always, I have a lot to talk about, but not a lot of time. So the goal is to give you the information and allow you to siphon through it and apply it to what applies to you, and then disregard that which does not apply with you. This is the daily energy reading, and today I'm going to be talking about Tuesday or Mars Day. The energy of Mars puts us in the energy of action. So, the idea of action is that you're doing something. However, you could be doing stupid stuff. You could be doing things that are not wise. So the idea is to correct the mindset before you get into a mode of action. So with that being said, if I didn't introduce myself, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Kyrie Anthony. I'm an author, astrologer, and yeah, pretty much that is the rub. Make sure you rub me the right way. My cat is like literally tweaking. Must be a meteor about to hit. Anyways, we're dealing with Mars energy. Mars is in the third decan. If you can see where my mouse is rotating at, maybe you can't. I hope you can. Mars is in the third decan of Aries. Aries is going to be sextile in Saturn and sextile in Jupiter. So, in reference to these respective planets, Venus and Saturn shows you the true relationship, which is the relationship where someone is teaching you something, because there is no way that you can go through this life thinking that you know everything. So, who are you learning from? Hopefully, you're learning from somebody that actually loves you and you love them, and you're able to grow together. But 10 times out of 10, you learning from social media, and that is no bueno. The topic that Spirit has put on my tongue to speak is the topic of what is the rejection mindset. And why I think that it applies to Mars is because if you have a rejection mindset, you will not prosper or go into any places that you need to go to, because every thought that you have is rooted in rejection. So it's like not even starting the game. But then, like, man, I wonder what it's like when you finish it. Hell, if you would know, you haven't even started yet. So I feel like it's very extremely important to bear witness to the actual day that we are experiencing in the world, because for a lot of people, Tuesday is another day at work, another day at school, just basically a day that you get to spend in this world that you will never get back again. So when we reference Tuesday and we reference action, this could be a powerful, profound action that is outside of the rejection mindset, or it could be just another day rolling in the hood, just another day around the way. I'm feeling good today. I'm from around the way. Y'all, what y'all know about that Queen Latifah? She more than an actor, y'all. Queen Latifah got some slaps. Check her out on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal if you get a chance. Some certified bangers. Who you calling a bitch? UNITY. Just saying. Check her out. So I bring all of this to our observation because in reading this article, we can basically see that Tuesday is Mars Day, but even deeper in Europe, Greek, Italian, French, Spanish, Romanian, Sardinian, Slavic languages, Japanese, Korean, Sanskrit, all relate to this day being related to Mars. And when you think about governmental powers that have a structure that rule over people and have ancient knowledge, it is because they understand and overstand and understand the planetary alignment. So when we're talking about Mars and we're talking about Tuesday, it's really about what action are you putting forth. And the irony of action is that we're always putting in action. We're always doing something. You're literally never not doing anything. So therefore, you have to begin to do the inner work to say, what is the divine action that I should be taking? And nobody is exempt from this understanding, overstanding, and understanding. So let's go back to the chart, and we are referencing Mars, Venus, and Saturn. These are very powerful planets because at one point in time, these planets were suns. So all of our ancient understanding of gods and goddesses are more of a planetary observation that in the modern world we don't have a actual visualization. That's why we go within ourselves to find the ancient understanding, which is actually true. So when we're trying to get into, all right, how deep am I? How, like, it's really how much meditation can you access to get a sense of truth, and then that observation of the planetary alignments, it just makes more sense to you. That's why a lot of people through spirituality start getting into astrology for some odd reason. The reason is that the planetary alignments are actually inside of you. Astrology is big business, ladies and gentlemen. People resonate with astrology all over the planet. And that is because the planetary alignments used to be much closer, and within our DNA, within our memory, we are able to like bear witness to these cosmological observances and the power that they emit, even though they're quote unquote millions of years away. It still resonates in our chakras. The same way that the sun, millions of miles away, every scientist on the planet is going to bear witness to the sun's energy bearing down on the planet, creating life form around it in the photosynthesis and the overall evaporation processes and all of the biological processes that take place on the earth. Is not a scientist on the planet that won't bear witness to the sun's influence on the planet. So that goes to say that there are more planetary influences on this planet other than the sun, and the way that it influences us is through consciousness, through hormones, through the chakras, which gives us the body to be able to survive in a world that you probably wouldn't survive in by yourself. More into what I'm actually talking about, because we're talking about Mars, but now Mars is in a conversation with Saturn. So that's like if you and your dad have a conversation. 10 times out of 10, you ain't going to get a word in. One's in the chat. If we did, you know what I mean? If you talking to your dad, at what point do your dad be like, all right, go ahead, tell me what you really feel? I want to hear you express yourself fully and openly. 10 times out of 10, your dad is constantly trying to tell you some shit, to whereas you have to be receptive to what your dad have to say. So what I'm talking about is astrology, because Mars is sextile Saturn. So that means Saturn is going to have rulership on the conversation. There's no way a son thinks he knows more than his dad in the area that his dad has been in for a longer time. Thus, you see this ultimately play out in real life. Where do you see this play out in real life? LeBron James playing with his son on the Lakers. But it's a sextile, meaning that Bronny James have to actually work to get to a certain level, which I feel like the narrative is being set up to be on some theatrical movie shit where the boy gonna come in and just be a dog. And it's like, shit, he learned it from his dad. What can you say? It's some shit that only your dad can teach you. And what I mean is that there has to be a hierarchical reality to what you are learning. For me, and this time is Brother Kalindi. That's my Saturn influence to my Mars, my action, which is a psilocybin business. This nigga say psilocybin too much, so much. I'd be like, damn, I thought that nobody would even be talking on this level. He been talking about this. It's so many lectures, so many podcasts that I just be listening to and learning, because I need to learn this information. And the reality of it is that Kalindi not even alive. So once again, how does this look like for you? Are you learning from somebody, whether online, whether in real life, whether spiritual? You understand what I'm saying? Is your daddy looking out for you? You know what I'm saying? Is something happening in the conversation between Saturn and Mars? And is also something happening in the conversation between Mars and Venus? A lot can happen when people start to work together. When it's the overall goal of this energy, referencing yesterday, 69 gods, is harmony, orgasm, understanding ecstasy through Tantra, which we're going to end on. So make sure you stick to the end of the conversation, because we're talking about Mars. Mars rules Scorpio. Scorpio is the sexual organs. But I know the visceral nature of sex is more of a trigger than an educational tool. And I'm going to keep pushing the goddamn button till motherfuckers just get over it. It's almost like when you pull off your clothes and you get naked and you get all excited with the girl, right? You like, you just jump into it. But really, that's not what I'm talking about. With Tantra is us living in an African village and we got our dicks out anyways. It's just it ain't even a mystery. Therefore, everybody gonna play their position and play their role. The girls are gonna like who they gonna like. But see, we got all these clothes on, all of these degrees, all of these personalities, and then we were trying to get naked. how do you know you in love with somebody? It's a difference between being married and being in love. You can have a husband that never get naked around you. You never see him really naked. Y'all have sex, but is he really ever naked? You could be with your wife. Is she really ever naked? She always got clothes on, always got a bra on. Do you know that that's a boundary and barrier between y'all two? Y'all might as well be living in the fucking brick. Y'all might as well put a brick wall between y'all if y'all sleep with clothes on. Because what's the fucking point? Do it even make sense? You could be a person that like being naked and then get with somebody and start wanting to clothe up, wanting to cover up. You might as well put a brick wall between y'all because it's the same thing. It's no difference. Because true intimacy is nakedness, but it is like, do you love me for who I am? Or are you in a space where if I cover it up, it's more acceptable to you? Or, you know, and it can get deep as far as insecurities and things of that nature. But all I'm saying is, you can't ever say because I'm married, I'm in a divine union, especially if there's clothes. So when we talk about the success and the joy, it's a level of bare openness that comes from just accepting yourself and being so optimistic and being so deeply entranced and entrenched in love that none of this bullshit matters. And this is the conversation that I'm having with people because, yeah, it can happen within yourself, but usually the reason why you so gung-ho about being single and being by yourself is because you're hurt. You've been hurt. So therefore, if you're actively in a space of positivity and optimism and you don't have the rejection mindset, there's no way you can be in a space of single by choice or I'm just living single. These are actual TV shows. Living single is a programming. When you watch TV, they call it programs. You've been programmed to live single. You think you're going to normalize being single on an energetic level. I'm not even talking about a financial level. So when we talk about Saturn and when we're talking about like the full moon, if y'all want to check out that video, we discuss such theories as the electric universe. And when we talk about the electric universe goes one-on-one with the magnetic universe. And this is wisdom. This is the point of all existence. Electric magnetism. Especially if you're a human being. Because you are a human being, you exist based upon ideas, based upon intuition, based upon movement. These ideas, intuitions, and movement are purely electrical signals. So the more stronger you get at sending signals through your mind, through your body, throughout the universe, the more you will receive that. It is so ingrained in our consciousness that if you say raise your right hand, you're just going to do it. So whatever you want out of life is that same energy. So all we have to do is learn how to remove the blockages to our electromagnetic energy. Because we are so planetarily configured, made in the image of God, we can utilize those powers. And this is what I want to talk about today. I'm not going to get into this article because it's super long, but I just kind of wanted to show like Saturn is our first sun. Saturn is where we get a lot of our wisdom from. So when there's planetary alignments to Saturn and you are a melanated person, you are a child of the Most High, that means that God is always talking to you. And what do I mean by that? I'm talking about wisdom. Now, wisdom and Mars is very much connected because wisdom comes from learning and experience. It is the knowledge that comes from learning and experience. If you have a rejection mindset, you're not going to learn and you're not going to experience because why should I do it anyways? I don't need to do that anyways because I'm going to fail at it. Therefore, that's your mindset. You're not going to get the knowledge because you don't want to learn and you don't want to experience. Even down to the word. If you get into wisdom, which is wise, dumb, the kingdom of being wise, the word wise is broken down from the word weed, and weed means to see. You have to see it. So a part of seeing things is being rejected. Okay, like part of getting girls is being rejected by girls. Part of doing business is, starting a business and being rejected, but having a mindset to see it for yourself, to just pursue it anyways. Mars is at 22 degrees Aries, and the key word for this is optimism as a life path. No matter what you're going, even through transition, you are just in a space of ever positive energy because none of this shit is real, anyways. You are pure energy. And as pure energy, the concept with pure energy is being outrageously optimistic. The abundance arising as a result of trust. So if you have a rejection mindset, then you're probably single and lonely and broke as fuck and don't want to actually do nothing, don't want to click up with nobody, just want to feel sorry for yourself because you've been rejected before and this is your narrative, this is your story. So you don't even trust the day. You don't even trust Mars. You don't even trust your action. So how are you going to get abundance if you don't start the business? Nobody going to sow into it. It's impossible, bro. It's impossible for us. Listen, it's impossible for us to buy the mixtape if the mixtape ain't put out. How am I going to buy your mixtape? How can I even listen to it if it's just sitting on your phone and it's a part of your playlist? You have to put action. Tuesday is the day of action. So when you're doing your schedule, when you figuring your shit out, make today be the day that you put the shit into fruition. Right? But you got to have a positive mindset. So optimism. Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? If you are pessimistic, then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of the conversation, followed by a solution. So, what is optimism? Optimism is the greatest good. Optimism is the best, right? The best of all possible worlds. Because there's only one decision that you can take, and that decision should align with your greatest good. All right. And it's very simple. All you have to do is start addressing the rejection mindset. Now, don't tell me that people don't have a rejection mindset when I see the balloon popping shows and I hear the conversation. Shit, everybody know if you a dude, if you trying to get 17 phone numbers, you got to talk to 100 girls. That means that 83 girls rejected you. If you have a rejection mindset, you're not going to talk to one girl. So the difference between a guy getting girls is his ability to talk to a lot of girls. If he have a rejection mindset, he's not going to talk to no girls. So do you see how that works? Do you see how 15% of guys can actually enjoy 80% of women. Because 85% of men not even going to say shit to you for fear of being rejected. And every man know, even if you handsome, you got it going on, you more or less, she going to be like, no, I'm good. All you want to do is have sex, and I'm not really on that type shit. Like, what man ain't trying to have sex? That don't even make sense. All he wanted to do is have sex, girl. I couldn't deal with that. Was he heterosexual? Yeah. Why wouldn't he want to have sex with you? You're a beautiful woman. I don't know. I'm just not into that no more. No more. All right. And this is where we get into dating is nothing but dick at the end, right? It's not even real, right? You ain't even about to get into nothing if you going on dates. Anyways, certain things I want to talk about. Experiencing rejection is incredibly painful, yet there is nothing more deadly to relational health than carrying a rejection mindset. Masses of people do not realize they are infected. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, yeah, we cooking. Cause I can see it and I can understand it. I can understand it. But people gonna act like it's nothing wrong. And they still trying to figure it out. Are you carrying a rejection mindset? Meanwhile, it is behind just about every relationship breakdown and drama that ensues. It's important for you to understand that rejection is not something that just happens to you. It is a mindset that will infiltrate your every thought, perception, and motive. So it's Mars Day, it's action day, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to do nothing. I mean, action, whatever. I mean, it sound good, hood, but ain't nobody gonna give a fuck. I mean, it sound good, but I ain't about that life. I've never met a person who has not had to face this monster and do business with rejection-based perspectives in their life. Its tentacles will slither into any opening in your life, wrapping itself around your thinking and leave you defeated by the circumstances in your life. So now everything that's happening in your life is happening to you, and now you feel bad about it, and now you don't even want to go forward. And now you about to find wisdom. Now you about to find every spiritual mumbo jumbo. You can move forward through this. It's all right, girl. Just move on and this, that, and the third. But that is not addressing your rejection mindset. Because when you get into a new relationship, when you get into a new business endeavor, when you get into a new home, that same mindset is going to run rampant. So what I'm talking about is attacking and addressing a mindset that will then allow you to act more freely in alignment with your soul. Because your soul wants you to do shit, but you like, man, I don't think it's going to work out. Well, nigga, if you don't think that it's going to work out, if you don't think it's going to work out, it's not going to work out. I don't know what to tell niggas when they tell me sad stories. If you afraid, be very afraid, nigga, because I don't know what else to. You better be courageous and fearless and put some positive optimism in your action. Because what's going to happen? They going to tell you, oh, we don't got no more seats. And you'll be like, oh, okay. And just hang the fuck up. Hey, wait. What if you gotta keep pushing and forcing the issue, but that's a mindset. People is successful out here. That's a mindset. What you do when you wake up. Like, it gotta be separation between you and processed foods. It has to be. Because if you can get rid of the meat and the processed food, that's going to be your first step to optimism. Because there's no way you're going to be optimistic with baby goats and baby cows in your DNA that was killed and massacred in the most brutal way. And the entity, which is mammalian, has a relationship to you as a mammalian. That's kind of cannibalistic on all levels. So you got to change the diet if you have the negative mindset. If you eating meat and you fine with it, man, gorge on that shit. Eat a double cheeseburger for me because I be watching the videos. I watch all of the food videos. I watch all that shit. I'm a content connoisseur of eating videos. I'm not going to touch it, but I will watch the videos. Go crazy. But if me personally as a spiritual being, I don't need that energy in my life. So, back to the discussion. A major aspect of personal transformation involves wrestling a rejection mindset out of my life. It took hunger and an honest assessment to see the influence it was having on me. Over time, I realized the majority of my life was actually influenced by rejection. Rejection is sitting at the house, watching Netflix, chilling with your bae, doing regular stuff. Because if it meant for you to put effort into your business, to put out content, to do something outside of yourself, it might put you in a space of being rejected. Every time you put out content and it don't get likes, that's a form of rejection. And if you put out content and it don't get the likes that you expecting, you're actually feeling rejected. So therefore, of course, you're not going to put out content. Content means that you're going to get rejected. And then even if you put out content for a month and see no growth, you still going to feel rejected. But are you clear? Are you doing all of the tips and tricks? Did you pay for a Instagram course? Do you know all the background settings? Like, what did you do to invest in the growth of your platform? Like, it can be something that you doing wrong. And then two, you got to be able to put out shit and people just be like, eh. Because at a certain point, you would have to learn how to put out content that make people want to stop scrolling and key into what you putting out. But that take experience and that take knowledge. You got to see what it's like. You got to just jump in the wildfire and learn. Watch a video. Don't just try to put out content and be like, this ain't working. It's YouTube videos up the ass that you could watch. Create a plan for you, whether a 30-day plan, 60-day plan, 90-day plan, and just operate through the plan. That's more tangible than just randomly putting out shit, hoping that shit goes away. Educate yourself before you jump into these waters. And I don't care what it actually is. Have a knowledge base. Because nobody wants to be the kid in school where everybody dapping each other up and you just on the outside looking in like, how these niggas know that it was black and orange day? You in fucking pink and blue. Like, you just looking crazy because you didn't do the due diligence work. So, a rejection mindset creates a root system of thinking which branches into many areas of relationships, business, everything. If you don't think that you're going to get it, you're not going to get it. We waste time chasing symptoms unless we address the root of the problem. When a rejection mindset is recognized and healed, we can enter a whole new world of freedom. So this got me into a train of thought that brought me to the Kundalini gland, which is the root chakra or Muladhara chakra at the base of the spine, where Kundalini is to lie coiled, awaiting to rise, right? And then it is said, yoga, because people will be like, well, how do I activate my Kundalini? Right here. Yoga has devised a wide variety of techniques to irritate and awaken this gland into activity, including the Mula Bandha, root lock contracting the perineum and lower abdomen, the Asvini Mudra, contracting the pubical muscle of perineum, as in the Kegel exercises, Tada Mudra, knocking the buttocks upon the ground, sending rhythmic shock waves rippling up the spine, so forth and so on. And then it said Ecstasy Through Tantra by John Mumford, which made me want to see if that book had anything on rejection, and surely enough, it did. So this would be, I feel, as a solution to rejection, more or less, if you're a man or a woman, learning to stand butt naked with no socks on and just stare at yourself. Or if you have a partner, learn how to exist with your partner naked. Now, if you got A1 perfect bodies, it's not really going to fucking matter to you. I'm talking about if you 35, 45, you done had kids, you ain't in the best shape of your life. This is who it really is for. One's in the chat if y'all understand what I'm talking about when I'm saying what I'm saying. This is where Tantra really comes alive. If you a fucking can smoker, you know, Tantra is beautiful, you know, but you know, it's easy. Can you elicit those same emotions, right, with somebody who's not a perfect 10? That is Tantra, okay? Tantra utilizes basic sexual excitation to flood the brain with sensations so strong that extraneous mental activity is obliterated or pushed out of the field of consciousness. So, I'm going to give y'all some reality. If you are in a relationship and, you know, a guy is unhappy and you just like treat him like, you know, everything is everything, you know, I'm just a human being. I don't have to show him my sexy side. You know, I don't need to be sexy. He's supposed to accept me for who I am. He gonna actually crave other shit outside of the relationship. So if you tired of men cheating on you, stay in that sexual energy or don't deal with men. I'm not giving you advice. I'm just telling you how the shit works. A man can get healed by being with a woman that exudes sexual energy based upon Tantra. If she is sexually attracted to him for him, so if she see your husband and she like, oh damn, daddy, you looking good today, and he the same nigga that snoring his dirty drawers in the bathroom with the doodle stains, right? She don't know that. She and to her, she see a god, right? Ooh, daddy, you so sexy. How is he gonna resist that when that's Tantra? When it's an ancient, when the basic sexual excitation which all men want to feel, and you know, he gotta look at it in his partner. Like he gotta get Like he got to look at you and feel sexually excited about everything. And now I'm gonna tell you though, you don't even gotta be a dime for real. For if you just feel sexy about yourself, like you could be any size. You know, guys like when you just walk around naked. You know what I mean? Like it's just energy. But if you feel like, oh, I'm not sexy, I don't wanna, oh, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, close your eyes. Don't look. That's that weird energy. That is not Tantra. That is you not accepting your body as your body. And of course, you can change it, but even if you don't change it, it's a certain level of exception that goes with this Tantra stuff. Yoga is the cessation of the fluctuations of the mind stuff and becomes a psychophysical reality for at the instant of convulsive spasm, consciousness of doing ceases and consciousness of being reigns. Orgasm is the only spontaneous, natural experience of a deathless, birthless, timeless, sorrowless dimension. So, in the mode of a man being naked, a woman being naked in a space where there's no shame and there's no judgment and there's total love happening. Through this modality, this is what is called an orgasm. It's not right. It's not like always the sexual thing. It is the complete love opening that opens up between a man and a woman, and it shows you a world that exists, and it's probably one of the only ways you can see that world. So the Tantra is actually learning how to access this realm at will. And so it is two-pronged. It is sex and it is dreaming, which are ran by the moon. The moon is in close proximity to to Mars. Yesterday we talked about the moon conjunct Mars. But these nighttime activities, morning time activities are how you tap in. The rub is people just having sex. And what that does is create a rejection mindset. Either you're the one that's being rejected or you're the one that's rejecting. And none of it is healthy for society, as we can see. Tantra is the way of the hero who neither rejects nor fears any aspect of life. So when we talk about spiritual enlightenment, spiritual development, and we talk about doing shadow work, you have to deal with your rejections. You have to deal with your fears because these are what's going to inspire your actions. Your actions that say, I'm going to be an award-winning author. It's an action behind that. I'm going to be able to get paid off of my music in the next 3 years. It's an action behind that. I'm going to be married in the next 4 years. It's actions behind all of that. None of this shit just happens. Therefore, if you are the type of person, if I call you, what you doing? Oh man, I'm just chilling with the niggas. You're not, you're afraid of the rejection of who you are because you're not even supposed to be chilling. If you haven't reached your goal, why are you chilling? You should be organized. That's what the Saturn sextile would say. We should be focused. We should be disciplined. Mars and Aries It's required by the emperor. And another ill thing about it is that if a woman doesn't call you an emperor or a god, you're not a god. Because it's plenty of people who got their shit together and they're not seen. They're not recognized. They're not adored. They're not known. They're single. Right? And you know, if you don't know where to go and you don't know what to say, you're not even going to be able to even be in a situation. You can't even just give a girl, all right, here go $100,000, just marry me. She gonna look at you like, what you mean? Okay, I'll marry you. Sure, I'll marry you. Divorce your ass and take it. Like, what is we actually doing? Even in those types of situations, do you think those situations are Tantra? Do you think that if you come into the situation with $1 million and that girl gonna love you for that $1 million, but you don't accept yourself, she don't accept herself, you think that's Tantra? There is a way to this shit. And that's what I get on YouTube every day and try to say. It is a way to this shit. And part of the way is learning to stand in the fucking mirror and look at yourself and learn to love yourself. Because if you can't do that, how do you expect anybody to shake your hand in business? You got to have a certain disposition about yourself that's valid. Because sometimes people be delusional. Therefore, it's the real inner work that you stand with yourself. And I feel sorry for people who grew up in a world where all they know is phones and laptops and shit. Because it is a world outside of the technology, which I'm about to tap into as soon as this video is over. So the Tantra is the way of the hero who neither rejects nor fears any aspect of life. The Tantrist seeks freedom through life and not through escape. The Tantrist seeks freedom through life, sensation, sentient, and sensual. It's an experience of all things, the rejections, the failures, the losses, the pain, the anguish, all of that is included in this shit. And if you be feeling like, well, I experienced some negative shit before, hood, I'm going through some negative shit right now, hood. Can you believe it? Yes, nigga, I've been through shit too. I've been through some shit. I've come to a conclusion that the worst is behind me because I've been through so much shit. I understand, niggas. I understand. This shit get treacherous, like it get bad out here. But you shouldn't fear it. You shouldn't run from it. If that's your experience, fuck it. Dive into it. Create a blog about it. If you going through something that's treacherous, start telling motherfuckers. Tell everybody you come across. You know what? My boyfriend gay as hell. Can you believe it? I found him cheating on a nigga with a nigga. I can't believe it. At some point, somebody gonna tell you, girl, get over it. You sound crazy. Every time you come around, you telling me about your fucking gay ass boyfriend. What the hell did that got to do with you? Then you can start going somewhere. What's happening? You seen that the nigga gay. Now you taking it on the chest. It's part of your reputation now. You did something wrong in the equation. You ain't did nothing. Your ass was going to work, coming home, seen the text message. That don't got shit to do with you. But you ain't talking about it. You trying to escape from it. Like niggas think that, oh, I'm going through this fucked up shit, and as long as I don't talk about it, you know, I'll be able to move forward through it. No, it don't work like that. That shit becomes shadow. And that shit becomes the thing that run your whole life. you be running from something that ain't even chasing you. No, it do not work like that. Stop trying to escape. What is your situation? Accept it, move through it. It's some shit in your situation right now you could be grateful for, and it's some crazy shit going on in your life. I've come this far by referencing the good and the crazy. The good and the crazy make a story. It's a way that you can structure a story where the whole time I'm giving you my plight. I'm giving you my hardship. And at the end of the story, I tell you how, oh yeah, I overcame that. You're going to get rounds of applauses every fucking time. People going to be like, oh my God, that's so amazing. But that's you. You got some shit that you overcame. That you was every day, man, I can't believe this shit, man. Oh, I can't believe this shit. You've been overcame it, but yet and still, it is the mindset, the rejection mindset that you haven't healed. So I'm bringing healing into the room. I'm bringing healing into the energy space that people can start really addressing this shit. Because people was on balloon pop shows in 2024, 20 V1s. So I can reject 20 girls. I can reject 20 guys. And this is culture. And I know it's culture because I used to be a young guy and I knew what it was. Ain't nobody about to just start fucking with you off the strength of your fucking energy. You're going to have to approach and she going to say no. And you better have something secondary to that no, or you ain't about to get no hoes. That was when I was growing up. Girls don't just like you out the blue. You got to put forth the effort. And this is rejection culture on steroids now. Everybody rejecting everybody and everybody lonely. So where does the acceptance come from? We can't heal a nation, but we can for sure heal ourselves. Is a tantric proverb that said, he who would rise must first thrust himself up with the aid of the earth. Tantra is the science of the earth mother, substituting feeling for logic, sensation for cerebration, and active touching for passive viewing. So what this is saying is when you're in relationships and it's like a fog in the midst of that relationship, like you're supposed to be looking at that woman and like, God damn, oh wait. She's supposed to be looking at you like, God damn, right? And it's all an energetic vibration where like y'all are touching, y'all are intimate, y'all are close, y'all, there's no boundaries, y'all have crossed different thresholds that no other person have crossed together. Y'all sharing this level of intimacy, of openness, of conversation. And when you get to this level of feeling, then you're able to transcend. When both of y'all is trying to figure out who paying what on the rent, that shit is good as over. So with all that being said, man, this has been another episode, man, of the daily energy reading. I got an addiction with being consistent, man. I can't help it. It's a problem. They unleashed a monster. But for real though, be sure to tap in, subscribe, like the video, share the video, let people know that these daily energy readings is coming. I appreciate y'all all over the planet, tapping in. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Man, I'm just a country boy from Ohio, freaking Black and Miles, man. I came a long way. But really, man, I really used to think bad about myself. I really used to think bad about my future. I really didn't think that I would make it in life. But once I began to change my mindset, when I started to believe in myself, things really worked out in that favor. And, you know, I'm not as handsome as some of y'all. I'm not as tall, not as good looking as some of y'all. But yet and still, I'm talking about the mindset that if you could just have it, I promise you the world is yours. Be a little bit optimistic today before you put any action forth and watch how it play out. Be optimistic on what could happen if you talk to that girl or pass your business card to that business executive. You know, you'll never know what can happen. Meditate on having an optimistic mindset, challenge the rejection mindset, and refer to this video at any point where you feel like the world is against you, because it's not. Man, I'm the Hood Mystic. This has been another daily energy reading. Man, I'm getting my groove back like Stella, man, but don't tell nobody. I mean, tell everybody. Daily energy readings is back. The Hood Mystic is back. We up in this thing, man. I'll catch y'all on the flip side on the next video, but be sure to do your work, be optimistic, have a positive mindset. And I'll catch y'all on the flip side, man. This has been real.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic. Time to tap in now. You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic. Your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer.